And I forgot to turn the microphones back on because I had to relaunch Streamlabs, which is automatically set to turn the microphones off. So I was just saying, every once in a while, Streamlabs will just crap out. It just hard crashes. No particular reason, doesn't give any warning, no error messages pop up. It just, boom, we're tired, we're going away. So then I got to relaunch the stream. It creates a second stream, and people have to wander over.
Maybe I should make a map for Farming Sim 22.
You should totally
But
make a map
we
for
don't have an
Farming
editor
Sim
yet, though,
22.
so I'll have to wait until the editor comes out. Or is it already out yet for maps?
Well, you know who to ask about that.
Yeah.
And he ain't here.
No, I do actually have some good ideas. I mean, it wouldn't be a good map because it'd be my first map, so it would not be a very good map. But
What I would recommend you do before you make a map is start talking to map makers.
yeah, I've watched quite a few for 19, just not 22.
Now, I mean, like, befriend them.
Yeah.
Like, Missy B obviously befriended Alien Jim before she
Hmm.
started her first map, and she started on regular mods before she did maps. But
That's
her
true.
first map wasn't too bad.
That's fair. I guess it's how much time you put into it, right? If you try and rush it, it won't be good at all.
Oh,
So,
absolutely, just like anything.
also, is it just me, or are you getting like every so often it just skips a row?
It's just you.
Okay.
I am not having that problem at all. Raise your header up,
It
maybe.
it's in the same spot usually though, so. Oh, it's pretty low, I would say. My header.
Oh, field 2 needs plowing, but that's all. Okay.
Oh yeah, could add to forestry.
Oh, there you go.
So you would cut down on everything else except for maple trees or something like that.
It would have to be a hand tool, like one of those augers that you go
Well,
drill into the
and
side of a tree and then tap a little tap into and then hang a bucket from it.
so in real life, yeah, you can either hang a bucket from it or you can attach a bunch of lines.
Juliana, good morning. How are you?
Good
What
morning.
what happened where? When, why, and how? Well, let's see. We had a stream crash. Well, my streaming software, Streamlabs, just crashed. So a second stream has started at this point. It's all impromptu, casual Friday night, adult beverage chilling. We don't play serious on Friday nights. We just futz around.
Not at all. Sparky says my map would be maple trees and big lake.
A big lake of maple syrup.
Ooh. I mean, that'd be sticky though. Be very sticky.
What's your point?
I wouldn't swim in that. And all my tractors would become sticky. No, thank you.
Marilyn, how are you doing, sweetheart?
Well, yeah, I guess it's actually it'd be a great time. I guess it's like what 7 o'clock. I have no clue what time it'd be in Australia.
In Australia, right now it's going on 9 p.m. my time. It's going to be about 1 p.m. in Australia, I'm guessing, tomorrow.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's around 4:50 in England. Caveman is out, getting a surprise. I guess you could say. Bringing
Well,
himself a surprise.
not a surprise for him. He's been waiting
No.
on this for a week, and they finally called and said it was ready. So he had to take a day trip today, and I'm sure if he's not home by now, he's at the bare minimum breaking open boxes and just about peeing his pants with excitement.
Mm-hmm.
It is a pretty spectacular thing, but I'm not going to spoil his news. I will let him share that with you.
It's 350 and where Maryland lives.
Oh, I was off by a bit.
I mean, you might be I don't know what coast Maryland lives on and what the difference is in time zone, because Australia is pretty big.
6:52 in South Africa. People from all over the world.
Wow.
I love that. Just that's like one of my favorite things. Welcome back, Too Cool. Glad you could find us again.
Mm-hmm. They posted a link, so
I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't think Maryland's dropped in for one of the Friday night streams. The Friday nights are just casual play, totally casual. I mean, not like we're dead serious all the time or anything, but on Fridays, it's anything could happen on Fridays.
hmm New South Wales.
Yeah,
Is New South Wales, because I was saying the one in Europe. New South Wales is
it's kind of east
eastern,
central,
yeah,
south,
east.
southeastern Australia,
Yeah.
but more toward the center, more central part.
Does Australia have 3 or 4 time zones?
7.5. I don't know. I'm sure Maryland knows.
Mm-hmm.
It is your first. Friday nights are adult beverage, chillaxing, hanging with the homies, just chit chatting and playing some farm sim. We came back to 19 because Eric Kuntz, his birthday is this weekend. That's why the stream is called Happy Birthday. He asked if we wouldn't come back to 19 for his birthday coming up, and I said, yeah, sure, why not? So here we are, Eric, and then Eric's nowhere to be seen. He'll catch the stream later, though. He always does. That's right. Marilyn grew up in Wales in the UK and then moved to New South Wales in Australia.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I know one of the weird things for me is I live in Peterborough, Canada, but there's a Peterborough in Europe, which is actually bigger. So half the time when you search things, you get the Europe version. If I say like, what's the population of Peterborough, it'll bring up the Europe, or like the one in Europe.
Ah,
So
okay. Good to know.
and there's a lot of other ones like that are in this area. Like we have a township called Sunderland, and there's also Sunderland's a big area in England, and it's just so awkward 'cause it's like I hear like, people in England say, "Oh, it's Sunderland." I think mine and they're theirs, and assuming it's probably awkward that way too, living in South Wales in one place, moving and living in the same name town.
Well, it's a province, not a town. New
Okay, that's
South
fair.
Wales is an Australian province.
Um,
Um,
yes,
too
Paul?
too cool had to take time rejoining the stream. Was passing a Swift truck. Well, that's not hard. The Swift trucks are named Swift, but they're anything but. They're the slowest trucks on the road. Ben, it's 62. Yes, yes, I'm incredibly jealous because it's actually in the teens here in the desert tonight, like 14 degrees or something. It's been really cold this week, and we had a couple inches of snow the other day. Paul, what's your question for Sharko?
I mean, it's supposed to get to 55 for me tomorrow. Say 55 is pretty warm for December.
Well, apparently it's 78 in Houston. Shut up, too cool.
How'd you get a tractor out of a pond? Is it sunken or can you still drive it? because if it's been sunken, the only way to do that is reset. For me, I have a special. My vehicles are just waterproof. That's how my vehicles work. Sadly, some of the vehicles I was driving on Yukon weren't waterproof. Mainly that semi I was driving. That wasn't waterproof.
That's because we didn't order the submarine version of that semi. And for anybody who wonders what Charco's talking about, the non-waterproof semi, we actually turned it into our technical difficulties screen. If you look real closely in the middle, that's the truck. It was brand new. We just bought it, and Charco put it in the bottom of the river.
My insurance company covered it.
You don't have an insurance company, and nobody believes you do at this point. What are you talking about?
I did at the time.
put those water wings that kids wear on their arms. We need big ones of those to put on every vehicle Sharko drives.
No, you know what I should have done with the 18 million? Invest in a waterproof tractor.
Your husband's working in Iowa, and you're more than happy to stay in South Africa because you're not built for Iowa cold winter weather. Neither am I. And I grew up in Indiana, which is on basically the same. Is it longitude or latitude?
I think it's longitude.
Whatever it is, it's on that same plane as Iowa, so Indiana has real similar weather. I'm not built for winter either. And I grew up in that crap.
I am. I love the winter. Considering I have about 4 feet or 4 inches of snow outside, and tomorrow it's going to be 55, and it's usually 17 here. I love the snow though.
That's because
It's cold.
you're certifiable.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, to be fair, when I was a kid, I'd go out on the coldest day in the middle of a blizzard and play in the snow. And also in the middle of summer, I'd also go outside on the hottest day and play outside. So I just like extremes, apparently.
See, I can deal with heat all day long and twice on Sunday.
I sweat like crazy for heat, so nowadays heat I don't do very well, even though I work out in the heat and it's very humid. So that might be why, but
I mean, it'd be 103 out, and now I'm talking in the in a dry climate, not where the humidity is high, but when I lived in Idaho, 30% humidity is very low. 103 degrees, I'd put the top down on my convertible. Didn't think anything of it. It's different. Heat with humidity is completely different ball game though, and that's just awful.
it's not the heat itself, it's the fact that you sweat doesn't go anywhere. So you get hotter. Like even the shade is still ridiculously hot in humidity.
There you
Where
go.
if it's not, it's fine.
I believe you, Juliana. I believe you. I have seen enough snow for both of us 3 times over, trust me, and I don't want to see any more.
Well, tomorrow we're supposed to get like an inch of rain with thunderstorms.
Although I will say, after a fresh snowfall, everything is absolutely beautiful.
Hey, that it is.
It's gorgeous to look at, and then it needs to melt and go away, and then wait another year to come back so I can look at it again. Here you go. Marilyn said when she was a shepherd, she had to go out in snow that was waist high to gather her flock.
How did the sheep handle that?
Sheep, animals like get along in the
Oh,
weather.
yeah, no, animals love the snow.
They've got those big fur coats on, man.
Hmm. Oh, I love the snow, and I don't have a fur coat.
Marilyn's been all over the place, by the way. She's like a
Hmm.
world traveler.
I'd love
She
to do
grew
that.
up in Wales. She lived in Scotland in the Highlands. Yeah.
Actually, I
Um,
do plan to go to Europe in 3 years with all my friends. Any good spots I should check out? I mean, we're still in the planning, so, but
oh, Canuck. Yeah, so Canuck picked up FS22. He was pleasantly surprised. He'd seen a lot of negativity about it, and he
there's a
asked
lot of negativity about it.
he
It's
asked for our
ridiculous.
input recently and ended up picking it up, and he actually got it, what, 35% off? That's a pretty darn good deal.
Yeah, G2A is actually not bad for PCs.
What's G2? I have not heard of G2A
Um,
because I'm a big Steam guy, so fill me in,
it's
please.
well, you can get it. It's basically you buy codes for the game, so you can buy like Steam codes that people will buy and sell.
Okay,
So it's either somebody could have bought 22, didn't like it, and decided to sell the Steam code.
I gotcha.
So you can get usually some good prices on there.
Well, that's right. Sparky was a military guy, so he's been all over the place too.
Oh yeah. I've been Canada, or I've
Maryland.
been in Ontario, um, Quebec, a little bit. I've been in the States, so I've been in uh Myrtle Beach, Orlando, Vegas. Just gonna say, just not been inside into my thing. Um, and I've been to Cancun, Mexico, and I'm trying to remember the other town I was in Mexico.
It doesn't like yours.
But
It won't dump into it.
yeah, okay. Well, I'll back out of your way then.
Yeah, I don't understand the hate for FS22.
No,
I
I know,
really
I've seen a
I
lot
think there's a
too.
lot of impatient people or people who don't adapt to change, and it is quite different. Not
It is quite different gameplay.
it's different from FS19, but not so different that it's like, oh my god, this thing is so horrible. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, it's
Oh,
just a lot. I'd say that like this, there's a lot more features just in 22.
honestly, just in the menu options and the way they handle the menus and the interface in general is so superior to 19. It's not even funny.
Hmm. Also, I love the just the better graphics control or like optimization. That's big.
Juliana's just happy to be. She's a 22er for life now. She gets to be a blonde farmer, and that's all that matters to her.
Hmm.
Really, Sharko? You couldn't pull out without beating the crap out of my header.
You saw that?
How could I not?
Well, it wouldn't be a stream with me
Well, that's
crashing
true.
into anything. You know, the last stream I was in, or Friday stream, I was actually pretty good at driving.
Oh, when was that?
Not Elmcreek, the 19 map, the grass map,
Oh, Erlengrat.
Berlingrat. You were the one that was crashing everything.
That's true. Although, I gotta tell you, when I need some just playtime on 22 alone, I play that Erlengrat map. So when I impromptu that again, it's not gonna look the same as it did.
Well, I mean, it's not a stream map, it's your map that you stream sometimes.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about that thing.
Well, and I mean all the maps are tied up. I've got the Haute Baileron map is in a series now for the World Tour. Um, Obviously, we're doing Elmcreek for our main streaming series.
Hmm. and then
Oh, can I even get down this road? I'm kind of
yeah,
thinking
like
I
that is.
cannot.
You didn't
Nope.
really plan for that.
Nope, sure didn't.
Cut the trees down if I can. Well, did it. Barely. I'll cut this little tree down if I can. Oh, there it goes.
Saw that coming.
Need me to delete this tree?
Um, not yet.
Well, no, you got it.
Don't count me out yet.
You got it. Yeah, I was gonna say, the actual like, no, it's the old like the 19 version of the tree Maverick. Not Maverick. The Drex works actually pretty good in 22. Like the fact that you can actually cut down trees that aren't on your own field, or oh gosh, I need the dump truck.
Oh, I totally forgot about these stupid rocks.
Well, that plow only pulls up though the good stuff, I believe.
Oh, that's a
So.
good point. All right, what do we got here? Let's see. Maryland's been to the Canary Isles, France, Ireland. Uh, yeah, see, we've got love for FS22 here. Paul loves FS22. Can't stop playing with it. Really can't wait for modders to start dropping maps. I agree with that. Although a big mod drop came out today, GPS for the win.
I'm actually really curious to see what the maps are.
Well, I can tell you this. I saw a post from Alien Jim on his Facebook page day before yesterday that said, "Coming soon to FS22, No Man's Land." Which might give me an opportunity to play that map because I never got around to it in FS19. Honestly, I didn't want to because everybody was doing it.
Yeah. It's actually not bad.
It's a good map. Yeah, Maryland can take or leave 22.
Yes, Maryland. I own Planet Zoo, and I have quite a few hours in Planet Zoo.
Well, she was asking me specifically. When she says son, she's talking to me.
Oh, I understand that. I was just saying I do play it.
Yeah. I do like Planet Zoo. I haven't had time to play it here the last few weeks. But I was enjoying it when I did have a chance. Although there's one mission that really kind of irked me and I got sick of it. But no, it's a very good game. I don't think I will ever be as good as some of those builders are, though. Man, those people can build zoos. It's crazy.
They are ridiculous. I mean, I can do decent, but it still takes me like 3 hours to do something that someone can do in half an hour.
Right.
So, it's like, okay, I can sit here and do this and make my fields look nice, but, or not, the pens? Cages? Habitats? Yeah, I do Maryland. No worries. Like, don't feel bad. I was just letting you know I do play it too.
Actually, Harley sent me some screenshots today of a house and yard that she's been working on in FS. I think it's FS. I'm sure it's FS22, and she did a really nice job. It's an impressive house, to say the least. She's got poplar trees surrounding the whole property. There's a big driveway coming in that's got all kinds of, lights along it. And it was very impressive stuff.
Yeah, I like that. Like the endangered zoo animals, like you do free play or whatever. The fact that you can do online or offline and actually like rescue animals, and you get better points if you bring in an endangered animal and release it back to the wild
Yeah, I
after
like
you
that
breeding it.
too.
That is a cool feature.
Well, there's certain animals you can only buy if you've built up enough, whatever those points are for releasing animals out into the wild, kind
Um,
of thing.
they all come back in price wise. You just have to wait for them. If they like, it updates randomly. If you do the live one, so there's two modes. There's the internet one and non the internet or free play. And the internet one is the same for everyone. So if you sell animals, someone else can buy that animal. There's also offline where it doesn't do that. It just does random. But the animals are so beautiful. Like the Arctic foxes are so cute.
It is a very well done game.
Funny because the engine for that game was not built for that.
All right, we're not going to get all techno game geek on everybody.
No, I was just saying the engine was built for a roller coaster tycoon.
Yeah, but
They converted it
the
into
premise
that.
is identical. You just change
It
an
is.
animal habitat into a roller coaster or a spinny ride or whatever type of ride.
They did a good job on it, is basically what I was saying.
Yeah. I mean, Roller Coaster Tycoon or not Roller Coaster Tycoon, Planet Roller Coaster. Planet Coaster
Yeah.
was a good game also.
Planet Coaster is, yeah, the sibling, I guess you could say for it. I love the grass though, like the actual grass was pretty nice, like the tall grass, because that's all games I see games don't have is the grass feature. It's just flat.
Well, you have to adjust your habitat to include tall grass and short grass and dirt and rock and whatever the animals need, right?
Hard shelter, which I usually do caves for hard shelters because I think that looks cooler, and then I run a train behind it with like a glass wall so people can look into the cave.
Oh,
See
yeah.
the animals. I like that.
See, Marilyn, most of us have never seen a kangaroo or koala outside of a zoo.
I've never seen. Have I seen a kangaroo? I don't think I've ever seen a kangaroo in person.
I would bet Marilyn has seen kangaroos in the wild, if you want to call them. I mean, they're like the Australian version of rabbits.
Oh, they said I'm used to seeing kangaroos and koalas.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not saying that. Definitely, there's probably things that we're used to seeing that she's probably hasn't seen, or at least not now.
For some reason, this plow is pulling up junk now and not the good stuff.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that. I have a lot of stone. I mean, it's not pulling up as much though, so that's still a good thing.
Kyle, just not your type of game, man. I'll try any type of game. I'm even silly enough to like try competitive first-person shooters and then be disappointed that I'm old and my reflexes aren't what they used to be.
I'm not big into like I like them, but I don't play first-person shooters very often.
Oh, like gosh, for at least about 6 months probably, I was like seriously trying to get into Apex Legends. It was a fool's errand. I mean, I got better, and it's a tough game. It really is a tough game.
I'm more into simulators. Like I'd say 95% of the games I own are simulators. So
I can see that. Although my favorite is still, and I know you would agree with this, Kerbal Space Program is one of the best ever.
That is a very good simulator for learning. Like, because the principle behind it is very realistic.
Oh, Juliana, that would
So,
be fantastic. Lions and elephants from afar.
oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I almost went to South Africa for a school trip.
Sparky knows somebody who boxed with a kangaroo and apparently lost.
I'd be surprised if you won against a kangaroo after seeing what I've seen with kangaroos.
Absolutely, Marilyn. Marilyn wants to play 19 now that she's watching us play. You've been away for too long, dear. You need to get your fix. Paul, I don't know about Sharko, but I have tried Fortnite. I hate it.
Yeah, I've played Fortnite. I didn't like it, but my fiance did, so that's what I played.
Your your skill in Fortnite's not in shooting; it's in how fast can you build crap
It is, and
to
I hate
block
that
other people
so
shooting at
much.
you.
I'm actually really good at shooting in Fortnite, surprisingly. But the building I can't do.
Yep.
I just never could. And that I'm when I come against someone who's just can build a skyscraper in 10 seconds, I'm dead. So I'm like, yep, okay, I'm just gonna leave now.
Right. Try playing the builder type games on my phone, and it gets to a point where no matter what I do, I'm either running out of money or can't ever keep my population. Well, to be fair, Kyle, the phone versions aren't anywhere close to what like the
Phones
PC or
suck.
PC versions or even the console versions are.
An actual good city builder that I'd say is decently easy, um, as long as you don't choose hard mode, is City Skyline.
City Skylines is good. Lee, Winston, Oregon has a nice wildlife park to drive through. There used to be one around Chicago also, but I can't remember the name of it.
Oh yeah, we actually have up here in Canada something called African Safari, and you basically have like all the African animals out in an open field that you drive through, or like it is just this massive open area.
Right.
It's actually really cool.
Uh,
Like you can drive right beside the elephants and everything.
Juliana, I couldn't agree with you more. Everybody was stoked about Elmcreek, and maybe, you know, maybe that's why it didn't quite meet my expectations because everybody had hyped it so much. But Haute Baileron, in my opinion, is far, far better. It's a much better map.
I can tell you this, it's a, let's say, almost infinitely times better starting map.
It
For a new
absolutely is.
farmer.
For a new farmer, it's the best
You can,
starting map.
you,
You get like 3 times the amount of fields. All the fields are separated, so you can sell off an individual field. You're not stuck with one singular plot of land.
and you can also make money too, instead of like, you can't make money on those fields.
Those little fields are hard to make money on, that's right.
Like, you really can't. Like, you get maybe 1 or 2 bales off of them. Like, so you make it like 5,000 a year off those fields, if you're lucky.
Oh, Marilyn, I know you did that in real life. Absolutely. Lee, another friend of mine tonight was telling me he's been playing Icarus. It's different. He was telling me about it, and it's definitely unique. And I know why it's called Icarus. If you know who Icarus was. um, There's a wildlife park outside of Brandon, Oregon. African lion safari just outside of Hamilton. Used to play a game called
Yeah.
Farmville. That game got me into Farming Simulator. I played Farmville on Facebook also, Paul. That's where it started, on Facebook. A long time ago, Farmville.
Farmville on the phone is different now, but I do know the one you're talking about. The one you'd walk around and go to your friends and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly which one that is. 'Cause my mom had that, and I'd always play.
And then my my predecessor to Farm Sim was actually Stardew Valley.
Really?
Yep. Love Stardew Valley. It's a great
Oh,
game.
Stardew Valley is a great game. I just didn't know that was like. I mean, I knew you played it before. I just didn't know if that was the only one you played. Stardew Valley is a good one. I'd say it's very. I mean, I'd say it could be stressful, but it's very relaxing too.
Yeah, I think Farmville is one of those games that you know, people just got started in, and
You can go to like you can go like meet your friends and all that farm too.
if you have friends. I suck at social media, so it's not
Not much
like
different than me. You say you suck. You have 5,000 people who are subscribed to you who enjoy your content. I would
well,
not
I,
call
I
that sucking.
I don't consider YouTube social media. I consider that media. Social
Okay.
media is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and whatever other crappy.
Would you call Discord social media?
No,
No.
Discord is Discord is a communications platform.
Yeah, okay. No, I was just generally curious about that. Because I have heard people call it social media. I've heard people call it just.
It's not social media. That's not its intent. Social
No.
media is a Facebook style application.
I mean, Facebook owns most of them. Facebook owns,
Well,
I
that's
believe,
fair at this
TikTok,
point.
Instagram, and obviously Facebook. So.
And I could be wrong because I'm an old school computer geek, so it's not like I ever paid that much attention to what the definition of social media was, but
I think that's fair. Like, social media is something that, like, because YouTube is more media. I'd say at least maybe the shorts part now with YouTube is social media, but
yeah, see, Lee, I dropped Facebook back in the day, and then I picked it up because my ex wanted me to be on Facebook with her. And then when I got rid of her, I dumped it again. But then I started my YouTube channel and thought, well, I should be advertising my videos on Facebook. And, it's that double edged sword.
I only have Facebook for Messenger. That's literally the only reason.
I don't blame you.
Oh, Car Mechanic.
I've heard good things about Car Mechanic. I have not had a chance to check it out, but I've heard very good things about it.
No, Kyle. They just changed their name. I can guarantee you, Facebook is not getting bought out by any company.
They didn't get
Maybe,
bought.
yeah.
They didn't get bought out, but they've had such a rash of crap against them, and rightfully so lately, that they felt the need to rebrand, basically.
So, yeah. So the naming is Facebook is obviously the app, and was also the original name of the company, and they changed the name of the company, not the app.
To Meta.
Meta.
Same
they call it
thing.
Meta. It's called the Metaverse, and it's
Yeah, that's what I said.
The kids and I heard
Meta, whatever. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It's still garbage.
It's meant to be. It's that kind of like VR universe where you do everything in VR is the point of it.
But you
I
know
don't
that
like it.
like psychological studies now are proving that it's doing harm to people.
Yeah, the idea of living in a VR universe. Yes.
No. The idea of having all of this access to people's fake lives
Oh.
and it
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
people feel miserable about themselves because they're not on vacation in Cancun, when in fact Bikini Girl just took a picture in front of a green screen and parked her
Mhm.
butt in Cancun with her bikini on. And
Mhm.
especially kids are comparing their lives to what they see in the social media, and or
You
you
have
know
to make yourself look good.
the unrealistic standards, beauty standards that we have for people, and all that does is emphasize them. And anyway, we're getting political. Let's move right along. Killer Films, welcome back. It's been a while, man. Marilyn, you love going to the junkyard. That would actually be fun. I might have to check out that game.
Oh, I'm trying to think which one Car Mechanic is, because I
It's
know a lot of
it's a
car
game where you
games.
work on
So
cars.
no, I understand that, but I know a lot, so I'm trying to think of what that one is.
Hacked 7 times on. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. That's awful. Well, I'm old. I'm one of those old school guys. That's like, why are you texting me? You have a phone in your hand. If you have something to tell me, dial my number. I know you know what it is.
I I, I mean, I prefer text, but that's also because for some reason I hate phone calls.
Absolutely, Kyle. I couldn't agree with you more, bud. Oh, killer, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sorry for your loss, man. You're not the only one. Matthew Albert, who's been in the stream regularly, his grandpa passed away about a month ago too. No, just a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Honestly, I'll say this: social media is not good. I only have it for really communications. I don't use it. I think the last time I posted on Instagram was no joke almost 2 years ago. But I definitely will agree with a lot of people. It is definitely harmful. It also is capable of being good things. Like the internet's harmful in ways, but it also was a good thing. So, but I guess it was like that with TV too, though, when TV was originally came out.
Yeah,
So,
Marilyn used to work on her own cars. Didn't you race at one point also, Marilyn? Weren't you a driver, like racing driver at some point also? Marilyn's done
I
everything, man.
was gonna say that is so cool. Yeah, cool. Because like right now, if my life, I sat at a computer all day and went to school. That's pretty much all my life. Not very interesting. And here's someone who raced cars, has moved to a bunch of places, lives in a town that's on like almost on the other side of the planet. That's called the exact same thing where she was like born and all that. Like that is cool.
Marilyn's had a very interesting life. Voice notes on WhatsApp. What's voice notes?
I know what WhatsApp is. I don't know what voice notes are. Like a oh, is that like where the thing where it's like you just fold it down, you can talk into it, and it sends like a voice thing, but like a text form.
I don't know. I personally, if I need to make a note, I just say, "Hey Siri."
No, I don't think it's like a note. It's like instead of texting someone, you speak into your phone and you send it, so when they have time, they can listen to it. So it's more like a voicemail.
Oh, I see. Okay. Marilyn. Yeah, Marilyn did race motorbikes too.
Motorbikes. Thanks. My grandma used to be a derby racer.
Like, what kind of derby?
Um, I guess like I guess it'd be more I can't, oh gosh, why am I blanking? I know the answer.
You talking about roller derby? Like on
No, no,
skates where they elbow each other in the face and.
no. I'm talking
Oh.
like cars on dirt tracks.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I'm trying to remember. I don't know why I'm blanking for some reason on that. But she raced cars on dirt tracks.
Very cool.
I'd say professionally, but it wasn't really a professional thing at that time. At least in
Oh,
this
that's
area,
cool, Lee.
so.
Lee did some, Oh, dude, I have totally been to the track in Meridian, Idaho. I know exactly where you're talking about, dude.
Rally racing. That's the word I was thinking of, not derby.
Why do people insist on posting pictures of their dinners? Well, I'll tell you. I've done that a few times. I'll be honest.
If it's something like a really good thing, yes, but not every single time.
There are plenty of foodie type people out there who just enjoy sharing.
I think it's the idea of sharing is a good thing, because it lets just people, like, talk about what they would do. So I think as in that aspect, it's good. But the fact that everyone can do that and it's so fast now, it's a good and bad thing.
Well, if you're talking about fine dining and a genuine chef who's preparing cuisine, the presentation is as important as the taste.
Yes.
And so, yes, those plates as they come out should be very impressive to look at as well as impressive to taste. So showing off stuff like that, but I don't want to see a picture of your McDonald's burger and fries
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
or your meatloaf dinner at IHOP.
Well, Lee, I was gonna say that's different. That's not necessarily like posting all the time about it.
That's sharing with your wife.
Yeah, I'd say that's different.
Um, oh, Marilyn, that's lame and a shame. We slowly but surely we're living in different times.
I'm gonna say, Marilyn, that's probably the same reason why my grandma never actually was like professional because of that. Because it was back in her like young years, so I know she didn't keep that as a job.
Good morning, City Look. How are you doing? Good to have you with us. Pete Hill. This is a question that's come up a lot. And yes, I'm absolutely positively going to do a beginner series for FS22. I am not going to rush it. I'm not going to put it out before I'm ready. Honestly, I don't get as much time to play the game as I need to make sure that I know all the ins and outs, because the minute I post a video, I'm going to have 87 questions that people are going to want me to answer, and I want to make sure that I'm able to do that. So, and I'm waiting for some additional mods to come out. I think that mods are a very important part of this, and as people get introduced to the game, I want to make sure that they've got a good selection of beginners mods that are going to help them get on their way, just like I did with FS19. So it's going to be a while, and I don't have the amount of time on my hands anymore like I did back when I was making those videos. So it's a balancing act between finding the time to learn the game, make videos, keep the streams active, try to make videos, learn the game. I think you get the point. I'm working a very mentally intense full-time job these days. I was not doing that when I started my YouTube channel. That has changed quite a bit, unfortunately. Well,
How are you missing a row?
I know.
Okay.
Fortunately for me, I needed the income, but unfortunately, it has meant I've had to step back from YouTube a little bit, which wouldn't be my first choice, but YouTube, doesn't give me health insurance and a good paycheck yet. So, Life is what it is. But yes, I will be doing that series. I just can't make a promise as to when it will be, but I do want to make sure I have 100% grasp of the game before I even attempt it. That's only fair
And
to you guys.
Juliana, um, only pastures need water. If it's a barn or anything like that, they get water in 22 for any animal.
Kyle, McDonald's is picture perfect, right?
I mean, yeah.
And thank God it's only food. Water hauling for animals is one of the silliest things ever. And additional, or what was the animal pen? No, it was a. I don't remember the mod, but it allowed you
Animal
to
pen
put,
extension.
yeah, animal pen extension that allowed you to put water valves in. Made all the sense in the world.
I like what they did though in 22. Like the pastures need to be dragged water, but the barns are included.
That's fair, yeah.
I feel like cause like a pasture's kind of like a quick thing thrown together.
Well, to be fair, if I'm putting cows out in a pasture, I'm going to make sure that pasture has a stream or a creek or a lake or something in it.
I mean, real life, yes.
Believe it or not, this is something that's a big deal right now. And it's come up in my job where we actually, because we're in such a severe drought in the West, the USDA is assisting farmers who have to haul additional water for their cattle because the drought is so severe that a lot of the springs and ponds and lakes have dried up where they would normally graze their cattle. So it's a big deal right now. Mouse, how you
Yeah.
doing, bud? Well,
Oh,
thank you,
hey,
Marilyn.
Mouse.
I'm trying. I'm doing the best I can. Sparky, I appreciate the effort, bud. Oh, no worries, Pete. Um, Topics like that, I just get direct because I want to be honest. I'm not trying to be like pissy or pushy or anything like that. Harv said a bad word, but you know what I'm talking about.
Uh,
What,
the
Sharka?
hum was both for you and us realizing that we have sync vehicle speeds.
We do have sync vehicle speeds.
I keep forgetting so many things in this version that we have installed.
That's because we're focused on trying to learn all that other stuff.
Or does that also just mean though that that stuff isn't important? Ooh, War Thunder. Mouse is playing War Thunder. War Thunder's a good game.
Mouse plays a lot of War Thunder.
I play a bit.
I tried it. I'll be honest. I wasn't feeling it.
Now there's, like I said, if you play arcade versus simulated versus realistic,
Marilyn,
are different.
smacking my hand. You put that ruler away.
Get the
I,
belt.
I know you're not a nun, so you can't smack my hand.
Where's the belt?
I'm gonna tell Julie on you. Let's go on the merry-go-round. Whee!
I'm personally actually glad I grew up when I did. Or not grew up, but like was born when I was.
Why is that?
I'm old enough to know a lot about like the past, but not too young where I'm stuck up in like all this media. I'm still kind of have like the older ways. Like I grew up with VHS tapes.
You know, there's something that I could do, though, that you can never do.
Oh no.
When I was growing up, we used to say, at the turn of the century, I'll be X number of years old. When you're a kid, you're like, I'll be 32 in the year 2000. When were you born? 2000 even or 2001?
2000 even. So I am the age of the year.
So unless you live to be 100, you'll never surpass a century mark.
That is correct. But at least I always know my age.
Well, that's true. That's true.
What year is it? Okay, thank you. I'm 21 years old
Right.
or whatever. So yeah, that's nice.
Oh, okay,
I do
Miles.
I do know though about like the big massive computer. Um, and also a lot of the people I know weren't alive when 9/11 happened,
Oh,
and
that's fair.
for some reason when I grew up, 9/11 was always a big thing. Like
But you were just a baby.
I was just a baby, but all the people I grew up around was like that was still like a big thing.
Right.
But a lot of the people I know now, like my sister didn't even know what 9/11 was until like she was like thing. I'm like, wait, you still didn't know what 9/11 was? And I was surprised, like just because I grew up in an area where that was such a big thing.
Right.
I mean, it still is, but it's not taught in history classes. It's not.
Well,
So
it's politically incorrect now. Um,
yeah.
Paul, grass fields in 22, or actually in either game, leave them. Don't plow them. Don't subsoil them. And in fact, you don't have. Well, you have to fertilize them, but if you use a grassland roller on your field in 22, it will fertilize it that second time. That's the great thing about grass fields. There's been an ongoing debate for a long time in FS games where which is better for silage, grass or corn. Well, corn produces more chaff, but then you have to plow, lime, replant, refertilize, all of that stuff. I can get two grass harvests in the amount of time you can get a corn harvest. Grass is simple. Plant it once, keep it fertilized, and harvest it when it's ready.
Oh, I'm not, Kyle. I'm not saying I'm old. I'm definitely young. I will admit 100% I am young. For most people, I'm still a child. So,
Microsoft Flight Simulator, Maryland, very cool.
mhm.
Stephen Murray, it's not my birthday actually. It's Eric Kuntz is having a birthday this weekend. He asked us to come back and play PV Uncharted one more time, just so he could, or for his birthday, and we did. And he's been AWOL. Eric Kuntz, where are you? You were born in 1946, and you still remember the ration books from World War II? World War II was already over. How
Yeah, they
long?
could still been around though.
How long did they ration after that? I mean, my mom was born in 1931, and I remember her telling me about ration books, but she was a teenager in the mid 40s. Oh, I don't doubt that, Marilyn.
Hmm.
The 20th century, there was a lot of history in that 100-year period. A lot of
Uh-huh.
intense history. Oh well, happy belated birthday, Killer. Happy belated birthday to everyone who's had a birthday in 2021 that we missed. My birthday was in
I was gonna say
August.
Sunday stream. It's gonna be my birthday stream.
Sunday?
Well, it's Monday at my birthday, but
Well, make sure that we point that out on Sunday.
I'll be turning the big 21.
OMFG 21. Okay, I got you, Marilyn. I understand. Oh, fair enough, Stephen. you were you were hedging your bets there. Outstanding. Oh, Lee, your mom was born in 32. She will be 90 next July. Stevens was in October. My mom was born in 31, and She passed away in 2006.
And yes, Maryland, the 13th.
She was 75. Oh, Sharko's been able to drink since he was 19. He lives in Canada. He just doesn't. Oh, Juliana. Hitting the big 40 on Friday coming up. A week from today. 40 can be a real turning point. Not necessarily for the better. Although I'll tell you, my midlife crisis was a big fat tattoo on my arm, so beware what the 40s does to you. 30 on October 5th, born in 92. Marilyn is 76 next month. I am 55. No, Paul's turning 40 in May. My brother's birthday is in May, actually. May 21st.
Yeah. I'll say I'm like, for anyone older than me, I can only imagine how difficult the times are from going from something like no technology to now having like everything online. I can only imagine how bad that would be.
From anybody
Or
who's
how tough.
older than you, that's everybody.
That's what I'm saying. That would be tough. Like just trying to adapt and learn to the how fast technology is advancing.
Mouse.
Like,
You're young at heart, Mouse. Come on.
oh, I'm definitely a child. I'm not going to say I'm not a children. I'm definitely a child.
Life only starts at 40? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I believe it or not, technology has changed so much, even in the amount of time I've been alive, that my parents were confused by technology, and I still am in a class of people who are much more comfortable with it. But we're not nearly as comfortable with it as you all are because it's completely what you grew up with.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but here's the thing: is I grew up where I know VHS, then CDs, and now like online. Like even like my first computer had a floppy disk.
Yeah.
So, and now everything's downloaded online. Like I grew up knowing the, how fast things change. Where everyone I talk to is either older and only like really remembers the old ways and gets a lot confused with the new, like not confused, but finds stuff really complicated, or someone who's younger than me and doesn't know anything about the past.
Right.
So I'm in between where it's like this change between technology runs everything and technology runs nothing. I'm like right in the middle of that.
So we've got Paul on May 27th. Mouse is on May 25th. My brother is on May 21st. There's a lot of
Oh,
people writing that the May 20th.
oh, Sparky's daughter turns 21 soon too.
Yeah, on the 27th. Very nice. And Juliana's calling me Uncle Harv now. Uncle Harv. Des Bunny. I remember I remember. I remember 8-track tapes and reel. My brother actually, he's kind of an antique recording record nut. He has kept a reel-to-reel tape recorder for as long as I can remember. But he's also got cylinder record players. Edison
Oh, those things are cool.
and those what are they, 78 record crank record players, and he collects all that stuff. It's pretty cool. He's kind of a guru of recording stuff, but he doesn't work. He's a janitor by trade, but it's just his hobby.
Hmm.
It is hard to keep up. Maryland's the 11th of January, coming up pretty soon, dear.
I think I got all the fields done. I'll double check though.
What did the fields need at this point? Anything special?
They This is we forgot we have precision farming.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
right.
that's nitrogen, not pH. Field 2 needs a scan.
A scan?
Yeah, it's like really dark.
What about the big field that we just harvested?
It could use a scan, but
Uh,
I wouldn't say it needs a scan.
if it doesn't need it, I'm going to roll out a planter.
Yeah, it's good. The level, let's see, it is. What's a good pH level?
I don't know.
Okay, because it's saying it's sitting around 6.5,
Then it's probably good.
where the field I'm in right now is like almost like a brown, because it's so dark. So
That's field 2. When Marilyn had one of the first portable radios, she was incredibly popular.
that, yeah, I could definitely see that.
Oh, we have so many options. What are we going to plant here?
Oh yeah, that's something that we don't have on 19. Plant that, or not 19,
This
20.
is 19.
I'm in 20.
Now,
Oh,
you know what I'm going to plant? Because who knows when we'll be back. Because this has always been my favorite. While I like new crops and everything, this has always been my favorite. Base game FS19 crop. Anybody want to hazard a guess what it is?
I know what it is.
Well, it's on the screen now. It's not not hard to guess.
I can't see it yet.
Oh, that's fair.
So.
Oh, I remember Walkmans, Julianne. I had one. Portable tape player, you betcha.
I mean, technically the stream will know before I know. Or it's on the stream because they're 15 seconds behind, and then it's 50 behind seconds for me because to see it, so you get 30 seconds behind you say it. And I can't seem to turn on the, okay. There we go.
Still have the 45, 33, 78. Yeah, I remember those. Multi-speed record players. Absolutely. It was great, too. If you had like a 78 record and put it on 45, it would run real slow like this. Yeah, kids being silly, but that's the kind of thing we did. Oh man, Field 2 is in bad shape, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Discman, yeah. That was the late cousin of the Walkman.
I am scared to see what it is when I get old. The technology. Considering how fast we're advancing now.
Well, Steven raises a good. I was just about to bring this up, and he got to it before I did. The very first cell phones, mobile phones, were these big battery pack things that you had to carry in a case over your shoulder. And I think that was after they figured out how to put them in cars. Maryland, yeah, the TIs, absolutely. Paul, I think I am going to be doing a New Year's Eve stream. I'm not going anywhere. I'm probably going to be here, so we'll see what happens. We don't have plans for it yet, but I think it is definitely going to be a thing. I just don't know what it's going to involve yet. Guys, I got to step away for just a minute. I need a drink and Mother Nature, and I need to chat. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Yay! I gotta talk to everyone. I mean, no one wants that, but... Oh, I was gonna say, Steven, it's Sharko, not Caveman. Caveman's not on the stream tonight. Badly. Yeah, like I know I'm young, but it's just the technology I've seen is unbelievable. Oh yeah, New Year's party, New Year's stream. Hmm. I mean, it's up to Kate Harv, but that would be a bad idea. Oh, you like hearing me because I crash things? Is that why? Okay, where is Harv? Oh yeah, he's doing the field, isn't he? See if I can run in front of him before he gets back. Oh, I'm set to low speed. Come on. I know that's not like 50 years from now is going to be like ridiculous for technology, and I'm scared to see that because if it's advancing as fast now, I will have no clue like what my kids are doing or anything. I'd be like, what is this? Oh, everyone. Mm, I've had a worker, I see. Mm, Cross the dump truck like I'd normally do. Always good. Always good. Oh yeah, I definitely think like the Harv's World community is another family. And usually I am actually pretty shy when it comes to talking to people, but the streams are definitely a lot better. So, yes, implants. That would be terrifying. No, thank you. Yes, it's called the future, and I do love technology, so I do want it to advance. It's just I'm scared to see how fast it advances. That's what I'm worried about. Yeah, I can't get in his tractor, sadly. So I can't hide his tractor. If I would, I could. If I could, I would. That'd definitely be funny. Let's see if he actually turns around in the field or just continues. Yeah, well, I mean, it's up to Harv if he wants to do one thing. I probably wouldn't be able to do the, if he did one Christmas, I probably wouldn't be able to do, but I could probably definitely do one New Year's, if Harv did a stream New Year's. Yeah, I guess you grow with the technology, yeah. That's definitely something you can do. Oh gosh, you're right. Oh gosh, he was. I love that show when I was little. I mean, we are very close, I guess. I would say the flying car part, but we have tubes that you can put like items through now. Maybe not humans, but yeah, we're relying on AIs. Self-driving cars will definitely be a future. Um, like we'll have drone deliveries for Amazon probably. Um, I don't know. We'll probably maybe have like a space tourism in my lifetime. I don't need the technology. I don't even want to like. I can't think of any technology that we haven't used. That's not in today. That will be done in like 10 years from now, even 5. It's ridiculous. We'll probably have robots too in my lifetime. That's scary to think. By the way, I'm not driving. I mean, I am driving, but GPS is set, so I ain't actually driving. That's why I'm not crashing. If anyone's wondering, because I'm not a very good driver, as you guys all know. Or I can't. In real life, I'm actually a good driver. At least I like to think I am. Yeah, I know. Like, we weren't. Yeah, that is very true. And I love the moon landing. I am very into space, so.
Did you think I
What?
fell in?
No, Harv's here. He's back.
I'm back. Harv's New Year's farming extravaganza.
Let's go say, yeah, Kyle brought up something cool. George Jetson from the Jetsons is born this year, or I think 22.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I don't think we've quite reached George Jetson era type stuff yet, but that would be cool.
I mean he's like 20. Like he's definitely more than 20, considering he's a teen daughter. So he's probably like 40. So that's 40 years from now. Do you think that's what stuff will look like?
No. Yeah,
I could see.
we're gonna have cities in the sky, and
Okay, maybe not that, but I could definitely see seeing like more tubes and like I could definitely see robot helpers.
man, the data on this field's not very good either. You should be scanning, Sharko.
That's true. That's very true. I could be scanning.
Steven, I feel lighter. Steven. And actually, Juliana talks about, she keeps talking about South Africa. Yeah, I know. Um, and that's one of the things I keep hoping for. And I hoped for this in 19. I wish we would get some more. And don't get me wrong, I love the map makers. They do a great job on what they do. But I wish we'd get some who would get outside of their comfort zone and start doing some maps in other countries besides Europe and the United States, North America. We did start seeing a few South American maps, but I looked long and hard for a good Scandinavian farming map, and to be honest, I never really found one. The Baltic Sea was just kind of okay. Um, so I'd love to see a map maker start coming out with maps for different parts of the world, like South Africa or China, Japan, I mean, there's so much incredible farming going
Where's the
on around
scanner?
the world.
See that the cow pen?
I understood, Julian. The long drop.
I
Plop.
was gonna say Lee. What do you mean by cheap? Like a price of a normal plane ticket? Cheap?
Yes.
Because I could actually see that happening surprisingly soon.
20 or 30 years, maybe.
Uh,
Space travel is not that competitive yet, Charco.
no, I mean, okay, flying in a rocket ship, I could see in the next 10 years being as cheap as like a plane ticket.
Oh, so I can take a lap around the Earth in space, or maybe 3 orbits for $200
No, I
U.S.
mean flying from New York to Sydney in half an hour using a rocket instead of a plane.
Oh, you think? The cost of
I
that's still going to be exorbitant, though.
it'd be supposedly it'd be the price of business class, but instead of being on a plane for like 18 hours, you're in a rocket for a half an hour to an hour.
Hey, Lifehawk, how are you doing, man? You took the plunge and you're knee deep in settings galore. Okay, I assume that means you jumped into FS22.
But I'll say this: I can see the next 30 years, like space hotels will be more on like not I'd say cheap, but the majority of people later on in life could probably go on a space hotel in the next 30 years.
Dude,
But
you have been playing way too much Kerbal Space Program.
I'm
Tech,
not saying that would be cheap. It'd be like 10, like it'd probably be like 40, 50 grand for a week trip or something like that. So
then
not cheap,
the
but
majority of people cannot do it.
I said like retirement. If you save for retirement, you could probably do it. But like, yeah, it probably before it's actually cheap. I would say like a normal plane ticket to go somewhere probably won't be for another 50, 60 years. But at least with the way we're advancing space right now, that will definitely happen.
I
'Cause we're
disagree.
space. I know, like obviously from the past, because 50 years ago we went to the moon and we haven't gone back since. But with what we're doing now, there is a space race right now to get people back into space
No,
between
there
the two
isn't.
richest billionaires in the U.S. Yes,
No, there isn't.
there is actually. I'm not
They
lying.
want you to think there is, but that doesn't mean it's going to get so cheap that your average person can afford it.
I'm not saying like that will happen soon. Like I'm saying 50 years from now. Another 50 years and it would be probably like just getting to the price of reasonable.
No, because what's going to happen in the next 10 years is they're going to blow up half a dozen people. That's going to slow the process down by another 5 years just for the investigation
That's
alone.
that's fair. That's
Um,
fair.
and I'm not saying that to be harsh or anything. I mean, it happens. Space
I'm not
travel
getting,
is
yeah.
insanely dangerous.
You are definitely right, and I'm not. Yeah, you know what? Something could easily happen in the next 50 years to make that a lot harder.
I mean,
I'm just saying,
NASA
as of right,
NASA does this stuff professionally. It's their job. It's what they do. And how many space shuttles have blown up in the last 30 years? That would be two.
yeah, the space shuttle was a terrible design, an absolute, just a terrible design. I'm not saying it's yeah. There's definitely scenarios that could go bad. There's definitely things that could go wrong. If those happen, then obviously it's a pushback.
That will go bad.
Guaranteed there.
They
So
will go bad.
they could, yes.
No,
I'm
they
not going to say they
will.
will. I'm not going to say they won't.
I will. How I mean, um, SpaceX. How many rockets have they tried to land to recover just boosters that have blown up and crashed?
Missions were successful, but those boosters never meant to land perfectly.
Yes, they
Just like
are. That's the whole point of them. There's so much money wasted on space travel that one of the ways to cheapen it is to recover all of that
yeah,
equipment that used to get
you,
blown
yes,
out
you are
into the sea, out to sea, and or into the atmosphere and burned
until
up. So
SpaceX came along, every single rocket was wasted. You'd use it once. Correct. And right now, we're basically at the very first stages of flight. Eventually, we'll come down from airplanes, like, because originally airplanes, once they were kind of just one shots. And that's what we are now with rockets. But rockets will get to a point at one point where they're just as safe as airplanes.
yeah, but I don't think it's
Yes,
going to
it will
be
take time to
in.
get there.
I don't think it's going to be in 20 or 50 years. I think we're talking 70, 80, 100 years. Oh, you're absolutely right, Marilyn. It is a complete junkyard up there.
I cannot find this scanner for the life of me.
It's over by the if it's it should be by the animal dealer. And if it's not, look in the small barn by the house.
Look again at the O over there, because I didn't think I saw it over there, but maybe it's just somewhere where it blended into something else.
I thought they were stacked over there.
They could be, and I was just looking in the wrong spot. That's completely possible. Well, I mean, right now, as much as, yeah, I would not get on a rocket today. You are right there. But rockets are pretty safe, actually.
I would get on a
At least,
rocket today.
well, there was actually a rocket
If I
that blew up,
died,
but
if I
it was safe.
died, I could say I died on a rocket. I mean, I'm famous
You
for
know
the
what?
rest of my life.
That is fair. Oh, yeah, they are next to the, they are next to the house. by the animal dealer
I know.
as being blind. Well, I looked on the ramp in there, I didn't see it. Looked near on the small barn beside it, didn't see it. Didn't look at the house.
If the world survives. In a world where people get sent into space. There you go. We need to make a penal colony on the moon. We'll call it New Australia. And eventually it will become its own continent,
Hmm.
the way Australia did. Sparky, you can't jump out of a perfectly good spacecraft. It's a waste of time and money.
It yeah, actually that is yes, but actually space has actually done a lot for here on Earth. Like viruses grow a lot faster in space. So researching and all that on the ISS is very good. Velcro and a lot of other things were like made popular because of like space. So, like microcomputers and all that were invented because of the space race. So yes, it's not necessarily the great source of money, but at the same time it's not like completely wasted. We have done a lot. It has done a lot for us.
How do they live in Gundam? That's what I want to know, Kyle. I don't know what you mean by that. Let's all live like they do in Gundam? Tell me. Fill me in. This sounds like something that's very interesting.
Hmm.
It reminds me of Gangnam. We're going to live in Gangnam style. What was that stupid song? It's Gangnam style.
You might want to feed your pigs, Lee. You
Yeah,
might want to
they
feed your
might.
pigs.
Although I don't think they die or anything.
They
You just
don't die.
lose some productivity.
Hmm.
I wish giants would stop being so squeamish about the whole farm animal meat industry.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm going to raise my beef cattle just to sell the beef cattle back to the animal dealer. Okay. That's not how it really works, but okay. And when are they going to come up with a method that you can create your own pasture? We can place fences wherever we bloody want to now, which is great, by the way. I love the new fence placing feature in FS22.
That's fair, Sparky. You can't just jump out of a spacecraft if something goes wrong.
That's true.
I mean, you could, but you'd probably be worse jumping out of a spacecraft than staying in the spacecraft.
I don't know. Go watch that movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock.
That's true. That's true. That is actually a real thing that could happen. Not that extreme. That movie was quite extreme, but it is definitely an issue that people talk about in the space industry.
Absolutely. Oh, I see, Kyle. Yeah, I'm not an anime guy, so that's why I was lost.
Well, the money isn't spent. The money isn't spent going. Like, the money's not going to space. There's still plenty of people that work to get these rockets done and all that. So it's not like the money is being wasted. It is making jobs for plenty of people. So it's not like it's just being completely wasted and gone. It still is being put back into our planet right now.
That would be an awesome free fall. That's the truth.
I mean, there is technically a suit you could get that lets you technically fall from space that NASA did develop. That you could actually like fall back from space in just a suit.
Well, that's a fair point about George Clooney too.
Well, hey, Lifehawk. I didn't see Lifehawk come in. Hello.
Oh, yeah, he's been chatting for a while now. Well, the space industry does provide jobs, but you have to remember that 99.9% of those jobs are for people with aerospace engineering degrees.
That's true. Actually, not necessarily. Not all. Like, there is like just normal like electrical
I
engineers
knew
that
you
do
were.
that, but
Okay, they're not for average people.
that's fair. That is definitely fair.
That was the
But they're
whole.
still jobs though that people can take. So
They are jobs, people, but they are professional level jobs. They're not jobs that your average schmuck could go out and get.
that is fair. That is definitely fair.
Not everybody is built to be an engineer.
Well,
As a
maybe one day that'll be able to be possible.
as a friend of mine used to say, the world needs janitors. There's nothing
Janitors is
wrong with
definitely
that.
important. Janitor is definitely important. Janitors. NASA needs more 22 modders.
I think FS22 needs more NASA modders. That's what I would say.
Well, NASA doesn't actually build rockets. NASA outsources it to like Boeing. It's usually Boeing that builds NASA rockets, or
Grumman.
yeah, Northrop Grumman, and a bunch of what's the other one? ULA is one. Ned Launch is one. So
All right, well, since we're on the topic, great space movies. Personally, I love Apollo 13. I thought Gravity was pretty darn good.
yep, Apollo 13 was well made, yeah, very good and pretty accurate too.
I like Ron Howard in general. I think he's a very good movie maker.
Space Shuttle Cedars. Zoom.
We can't even get crop dusters.
It'd be a very fast crop duster.
Another banquet bites the dust. Oh, there. Well, Star Wars counts. Good one, too cool. Really good one. The Right Stuff. Great movie.
I like Interstellar was a good one too.
Interstellar was good, yeah. I agree, Steven. I love Tom Hanks.
Actually, Tom Hanks is going to space soon too.
HAL
He's gonna be
9000.
he's going to film a movie in space. Is
I,
Star Wars considered a space movie?
well, it is because it's
It
Star
is.
Wars, but I mean, it's
Yeah,
not a space as in realistic space travel.
I'd say it's more sci-fi. It's a sci-fi movie. Aliens.
Aliens, personally, I love the first three Aliens movies. I don't care what they say about the Prison Planet version. I like that one too. After that, you can forget about it. Aliens was the best of them all, though, hands down.
Space Jam.
No, Spaceballs.
No, I saw Spaceballs, but Space
Oh,
Jam. That's a good movie. I wouldn't really call that space though, but
oh,
good.
Lifehawk pulls a great one out. Close
Oh,
Encounters,
Close Encounters, yeah.
great movie. Although nobody goes into space, not directly
That,
anyway.
and the big antenna doesn't exist anymore.
What?
That was in that movie.
What?
Yeah,
What doesn't
big
exist anymore?
in Close Encounters. There's a big antenna.
What big antenna?
I don't remember the name of it. For some reason can't remember the name of them. I'm terrible with names. But like, I'm pretty right at the beginning of the movie. There's a massive like crater antenna,
You
and
mean
it collapsed recently.
you mean like a big dish type antenna?
Yeah, like a massive like a satellite dish built into the ground.
Okay.
It it's kind of fell apart. So it was the biggest antenna in the world, and it fell apart.
I thought you were talking about Devil's Tower. I'm like, what are you talking about? Devil's Tower is a
No, no,
mountain.
no. There's an actually like a massive radar dish in the ground
Okay,
that doesn't
I
exist
know what you're
anymore.
talking about now.
Well, I mean, it does exist. It's just now a massive
Lost
debris field.
Lost in Space, too cool.
Lost in Space is actually really good. It's a TV show on in
I was
Netflix. It actually is good.
I was gonna say, which version are you talking? I just wiped out part of the cornfield. Oops. So much for those banquets. I pushed the wrong button.
Yes, yeah. There's a Lost in Space Netflix, and it's actually really good.
Well, there was an original Lost in Space, like back in the '60s.
Was there?
Then they did a Lost in Space movie,
Hmm.
and yeah, Lost in Space just keeps coming back. Robbie the Robot.
I think this is original. I don't think it's the same, but the name's probably obviously the same.
Predator. Yeah, maybe. Contact with Jodie Foster. That's not bad. That's not a bad choice. Armageddon. A waste of film. Ice
Armageddon.
Pirates.
I
Never saw
was gonna
that
say
one.
Armageddon wasn't bad, but I wouldn't say it was nowhere near realistic.
Armageddon's trash. Oh, let's see. I can't teach astronauts who are,
Yeah.
multi degree geniuses how to drill, but I can teach drillers how to be astronauts.
Yeah, that's
The whole premise of that movie turns it into garbage right out of the gate.
you're fair there. And also the fact that it's even when the movie was recorded, space shuttles didn't exist or like weren't even flying anymore.
That's a good point, Lifehawk. In the movie version of Lost in Space, they had Mimi Rogers in a skin tight. Although she's got no behind, no booty, so Mimi kind of doesn't really do it for me. But I get the point. She was she married? Yeah, she was married to Tom Cruise. Like she was his first wife. For anybody who doesn't know who Mimi Rogers is.
Also, Armageddon, when they just blew up the asteroid, still would have destroyed the planet Earth. They blew it up like really close to it, so it still would have left all the debris field
Well, there you go.
like closer than the moon and blowing it up. It's like, oh yeah, it's fine.
Godzilla versus Space Godzilla.
Yeah, I do find it funny though that they're like, yeah, we can train a few drillers how to be astronauts in like a day or two, compared to this to build astronauts how to drill.
Right.
And it's not
Exactly.
like they could have just made the machine drill itself, because that's the thing that doesn't exist. It has to be manual. Which I also thought was weird.
Oh, what was that Clint Eastwood movie where they sent a bunch of old farts into space? That's right. What was that? Good one, Steven. Space Cowboys. That's right. That's what it was. Space Cowboys. Planet Hulk. Somebody needs to make a movie called Planet Harv.
Or Harv's Planet.
Harv's Planet. There you go. Instead of the world
Okay,
tour,
that's my
it's the
next map.
universe tour. Oh, I
Okay, I
think
have an
I
idea
think
for a
I
map
play.
now.
Somebody said Muppets in Space, and good to see you. I play. Glad you dropped in with us.
Hmm. The map I should do is like a space map or something like that. Like you're on like like a massive space station or something with tractors.
Everything's under a big
Oh, like
dome.
Harv's or something like that. Yeah. Or you can like there's fields you can buy in different domes.
There you go.
Oh, the Martian. Can't believe I forgot about that one.
Oh, The
The
Martian. No
Martian was a
kidding. How did I forget that? I
that
love
was a
that.
very good one. Yeah.
The book is far
Yeah, I
superior,
know.
but
Like
the movie is very, very good.
the book is. Yeah. I was gonna say it's one of the only movies that is like almost. I mean, obviously not as much detail, but is very close to the book compared to
Yes.
other like movies.
It did try to stay true to the source material. It left out. The book did get a little over the
But
top at points.
hmm
Like, it kept. So, when you're telling a story, one of the things that you have to do is keep upping the stakes. And
hmm
I actually think the author went a little too far sometimes upping the stakes.
Well, I know a cool thing. It was actually the science behind it was actually checked by NASA engineers and researchers. So it is actually, other than the massive dust storm at the beginning, everything in the because also you need something to kick it off. Everything was pretty much exactly accurate.
Well, the author, the guy who wrote the book that the movie was made from, he wrote it a chapter at a time and was posting each chapter to a blog.
Yeah.
He didn't intend to publish the book or make any money off of it. He was doing it for fun, and he actually drew the interest of like NASA engineers and stuff. So they would send him technical information about what was and wasn't necessarily possible. And so he would
Mhm.
redraft based on the information he was getting from them. So the possibilities of what he describes in the book are genuinely realistic.
I do love the part though when he's basically like in the movie where he's just like, I have a bunch of or NASA scientists, the smartest people on Earth, and they told me to just cut a hole in the roof. None of their best
That was
ideas.
in the book.
I know it was. I was just saying, like the way that was like done in the movie was
Yeah.
really well done.
Oh yeah,
It's just
absolutely.
like, oh my, yeah, that is very good.
Oh, I play a good one, Pitch Black.
Hmm
Who doesn't love Riddick? Alf. I don't know if Christopher Walken's hair, but definitely his voice. His voice is definitely out of some type of alien movie for sure. I love Christopher Walken though. He never went to space. Why did they never get Christopher Walken to go into space?
Does Avatar count?
Sort of.
Well, that also that means in almost any Marvel movie counts too. Then,
No, that's fair. Although
so
I personally and I did like Avatar. I enjoyed it, but Avatar is nothing more than Last of the Mohicans told on a different planet.
because I don't think Marvel movies count because they're sci-fi. Like, I understand science fiction is also like movies, but it's a completely separate kind.
Ben, you still have a fever?
Gravity was a good one.
Oh, of course, Planet of the Apes, one of the all-time classic sci-fi space
Yeah,
movies.
the originals or the newer ones?
The only ones, the original with Charlton Heston.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you there. The original.
I do like the three prequels. I did think those were
Hmm
reasonably well set up and reasonably well done. But the original Planet of the Apes was just brilliantly made.
It was. I actually say that's probably is my favorite Planet of the Apes. If I do make a map, I am totally going to make one with like domes or something,
Geodesic domes and
or like on like you're on a space station or something.
don't forget to add like the sprinkling systems and stuff to simulate water and all of that.
Oh yeah, I'd have to do that. Yeah, and maybe I should find a way to make a bunch of equipment that or something, or just leave it the fact that you're using on a very futuristic place. You're just using very old equipment.
Right. Hey Bonnie, welcome to the stream. We're just chilling on a Friday night, having some adult beverage and casual farming, chatting with you guys, and we're doing a throwback to PV Uncharted as a happy birthday to one Eric Kuntz, who's been around for a long time. Sparky, I'll bet this live stream needs more cowbell.
Yeah, it needs more spark.
There was a comedian one time who did the best Christopher Walken impersonation I've ever heard. Kevin, man, what was his name? Kevin. He was in A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise. He played his sidekick attorney, Kevin something. Not Kevin Bacon. Oh, cool, Lee. You drove, oh, going to the drive-in even. That's cool. All right, dear. Well, I appreciate you hanging with us for a while. It's always good chatting with you, Marilyn. You take care and have a good afternoon, evening. Ben, Rocket Man was not a space movie, although it was a very good movie. That's it. Kevin Pollak does a great Christopher Walken impersonation. He used to talk about what was it? How in Christopher Walken's voice, he was like, Frankenstein never scared me, but marsupials do because they're fast. And so I bought a T-shirt from him one time that literally said had Christopher Walken on the front and the back said, um, "Marsupials do because they're fast" or something like that. And I accidentally, I think, got on like a personal email list because I was getting messages from his wife at one point about some party they were having on Saturday night.
Huh. That's weird.
Oh, that's
Cool.
awesome, Lifehawk. Yeah, he really is a very good impressionist, great stand-up comedian, and I think he's a fairly brilliant actor as well. But you don't see him as much anymore.
Take care, Marilyn.
Steven, yeah, yeah. Everybody was a little spaced out at Woodstock. I think you make a fair point there. My uncle is ignoring me. Ben, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you needed that much attention. You're like a bad girlfriend tonight.
I know why corn looks better in 19.
Yeah, because it's closer together.
No, the corn stalks actually bend, where in 22 they go straight up. Because some of these corn stalks have pretty sharp curves on them.
Lee, what kind of real tractors has anyone driven? I've driven a Farmall M and a Ford 8N.
Do small tractors count?
I've driven a Massey Harris. Oh, Ben, I'm thinking about the Elton John movie, which was very good, by the way. Oh, I didn't realize Kevin Pollak was almost on Saturday Night Live. I'm glad he wasn't. He would have been ruined. Saturday Night Live sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It has its
After,
moments, but as a general rule, it sucks most years.
like I've driven a small Kloss.
Really? That's cool.
It's what we own. It's what my parents own. It's what I use for plowing the driveway. I mean, it's a small 24 horsepower tractor, so
Oh,
it's
that's
nothing
like a
big at
that's
all.
like a riding mower.
No, it's actually a decently sized. Like it has a 1500-liter bucket,
Oh, okay.
so it is like a decently sized tractor. No, honestly, it's no like farming tractor, but
Right.
It's not like. I mean, it was just funny because our zero turn is also 24 horsepower, but it is like a full size. Like it could have a cab and everything. My dad didn't just get a cab though. He regrets now.
Now that it's the middle of winter.
Yeah, it's like I wish I've had it for a couple of winters so I could have heat.
That would be Ziggy Stardust, Steven. Or was David
Oh
Bowie in Dune? That might be.
gosh, this plant is so loud.
Oh, the fertilizer plant? Yeah, that's ridiculous. Well, the sun is going down in the I almost said Yukon. That was quite a while ago. PV Uncharted.
Quite a long time ago.
I know, right?
Well, that was like what, July was the last episode of Yukon?
Was it that long ago?
It was
Probably.
July or June. It was July or June.
It's been quite a while. So, we got just a little bit more canola to put in this field, not too much more. We're going to be done here. Mr. Eric Kuntz, I'm sorry you weren't able to join us live, but hopefully you caught this later. Happy birthday to you, bud. Probably see you in the stream on Sunday, I'm sure. Well, Ziggy Stardust was kind of his rock alter ego. Anyway, I think we're going to call it a night. Everybody wishing happy birthday. We very much appreciate that. Eric's been a long time supporter of the channel. And so when he asked if we wouldn't jump back on PV Uncharted for a stream, I said, what the heck, we do Friday nights anyway, so we ought to get in there. With that said, we will be back for our normal stream time on Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be the last day of the fundraiser for families in need for Christmas. Wow, why did that slip my mind all of a sudden? Anyway.
Because it's 11 o'clock at night for you.
It's 1 a.m. for you, so.
Mm-hmm.
Time to put on that. Have a great night, everybody. And I did see you come in, Bonnie, and I hope I remembered to. I thought I said hello to you and happy birthday. Your happy birthday was for Eric Kuntz.
You did.
Yep, good. Anyway, it's always fun. Get on. The impromptu streams are great. We can just chill, chat a little bit, farm a little bit, drink a little bit. With that said, we'll see you on Sunday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care.